It has been the plaintiff's burden to prove to you that the defendant, Chris Hall, knowingly or intentionally possessed a controlled substance. The state has failed. Through the facts shown today and by the defense, we have proven the plaintiff's case to be still not enough. We, the defense, have approached this matter in three ways: motive, opportunity, and bragging. You first heard from the plaintiff's main witness, Taylor Jennings. He stated in his witness statement of his desire to win valedictorian. However, through a conversation between Principal Norris, his longtime friend, we heard that Principal Norris expressed to him that he was going to lose the race due to the fact that the defendant, Chris Hall, had a wider community involvement. Taylor Jennings responded with the statement, "We will see." This leads into our first point in today's case: motive. Now, the defense will not deny that the statement "we will see" can mean many things. However, let's follow this path. Taylor Jennings could have meant that he was going to get better grades. However, he already possessed a 4.5 GPA, and there is no way to improve an already perfect set of grades. Second, he could have meant to receive a higher ACT score, but this is highly unlikely so close to the end of the year. And last, to become a star athlete like his opponent, Chris Hall. However, you do not become perfect all in a day's work. This then leads into our second point in today's case: opportunity. Taylor Jennings knew that all of his hard work just wasn't enough. So how was he going to fix it? He had to sabotage the competition. But how? By planting drugs in the 4.5 GPA all-star basketball player Chris Hall's backpack. We heard from the teacher Lee Devoni we heard from Cody Grant state that in third block, she saw Taylor Jennings go to her desk, sit down, and place something like a black film canister into the backpack. However, to keep the opportunity alive, Taylor Jennings' statement about third block happens to be different. She says that she saw Chris Hall come into class, place his backpack down, and reach into his right pocket. His statement even goes further to say that he saw Chris Hall pull out a black film canister, open the lid, close it, and then place it into his backpack. Now, Taylor Jennings says that she saw a white rock-like substance. However, let's go into detail. The defendant, Chris Hall, was caught with 0.15 grams of methamphetamines. This is a couple grains of salt. There's no way Taylor Jennings could have saw a couple grains of salt in a white baggie shoved at the bottom of this black film canister. Taylor Jennings does not have enough evidence to prove that she saw narcotics unless she herself planted them. It all relied on opportunity. Taylor Jennings was in the photojournalism club. He had any possible opportunity to access a black film canister. Planting the drugs was easy enough because him and Chris Hall shared the same third block. Telling on Chris was easy enough because he was friends with Principal Norris. And the lousy investigation just helped seal the deal. Today you heard from Officer Down. He reported of his thorough investigation. However, through his thorough investigation, he never tested Chris Hall for drugs in his system, he never tested the baggie for fingerprints, and he never questioned Chris Hall about what had happened. Officer Down got what he was asked to look for, and that was that. The one thing Taylor Jennings doesn't realize about this whole problem is the one flaw that proves the inconsistency of this trial. Taylor Jennings stated in his witness statement, that he reported to Principal Norris about the suspicious behavior. However, we both heard from Principal Norris and Officer Down testify that Taylor Jennings told them he saw a white rock-like substance. Nowhere did Taylor Jennings say that he saw a white rock-like substance. Taylor Jennings knew that he was telling this. This then leads into Taylor Jennings bragging. The defense's third and final point. In third block, teacher Lee Devaney overheard Taylor Jennings state, "It's in the bag," clearly showing that he was confident with what he had just done. And then, after tattling to Principal Norris, Taylor Jennings was overheard by Cody Grant bragging about how he had saved the day that he had found drugs on another student. Now, after all of this, Chris Hall's scholarship was withdrawn, he was kicked out of the race for valedictorian, and he was left with a bad name. Now, like Taylor Jennings had always desired, he was the only one left in the race for valedictorian. Keeping in mind that without this valedictorian title, Taylor Jennings will not be able to receive his full ride scholarship in the fall, the college that he wishes to attend as the school year goes on. It all relied on Taylor doing whatever it took to win. Members of the jury, the defense has laid the stone pavement for you in three ways: motive, opportunity, and bragging. At the end of this trial, you will see that our stone pavement was enough, and that Chris Hall was wrongly accused. we will ask you then to render in the verdict only supported by the evidence, a verdict that Chris Hall is not guilty. Thank you.